Warning: the following video contains content that may be disturbing and/or potentially triggering to some viewers. Discretion is advised. Hello friends, Mary here. Today we're going to look at 5 major types of anxiety disorders. Number 1, Generalized Anxiety Disorder, or GAD. Generalized anxiety disorder is the most common form of anxiety disorder. The symptoms are feeling intensely anxious most of the time, feeling excessive, exaggerated worrying and tension about anything and everything, particularly activities and events, feeling on edge, and feeling as if you're on high alert when there is little or even no necessity to feel any of these things to such a degree. You might also have physical symptoms such as muscle tension and sweating. GAD can really mess up your life. It can affect your energy levels because you're expending so much energy in feeling anxious, your sleep because you may feel it difficult to switch off when your thoughts are racing, and your ability to concentrate because if you're already sleep deprived and low on energy, it's very hard to focus. The combination of these 3 would drastically affect your performance at work and therefore your likelihood of even keeping your job. It can also affect your social life, your ability to look after yourself at home, and as a result of all of these issues, it can negatively affect all of your relationships. So it's no wonder that people who suffer with generalized anxiety disorder also tend to suffer with depression too. GAD can be difficult to diagnose because it doesn't have the unique symptoms that other anxiety disorders do. So doctors use the benchmark that you have GAD if you have felt anxious for most days over 6 months and it has had a negative impact on many areas of your life. Number 2, Social Anxiety Disorder. This disorder is also known as social phobia. To emphasize how serious this disorder is, it's helpful to define what a phobia is. A phobia is an intensely overwhelming fear. If you have greatly exaggerated feelings of being in danger that quickly make you feel upset, panicky and horribly anxious, then you will naturally go to great lengths to avoid whatever it is that's giving you that fear. If your phobia is any form of social interaction, including meeting up with your friends, you would have to avoid that. So it's easy to understand how this disorder can drastically alter your life and shrink it down to your own 4 walls. And that's why social anxiety disorder can often involve a level of agoraphobia, an intense fear of leaving your home. And the most troubling thing about this type of anxiety disorder is that many sufferers don't seek help because they can't. They can't go and see their doctor because they can't go out. If you can have a phone consultation with your doctor, that can be very helpful. The physical symptoms with this can be quite frightening. You might sweat profusely, feel your heart racing, blush or feel hot all over, and find that your voice and hands are shaking. As with all of these disorders, you may be totally aware that your fears aren't logical, but it can be really difficult to control them. Number 3, Panic Disorder. It's relatively common to feel panicky and stressed if we have to do something that we're not comfortable with. So for example, if you don't like small spaces, it can be very unpleasant to travel in an elevator, and you might well get feelings of extreme panic, but that isn't panic disorder. So to say to somebody with panic disorder, we all get scared, is both insensitive and inaccurate. Panic disorder is particularly upsetting for 2 reasons. Reason 1, you have sudden, unexpected, frightening panic attacks with no particular trigger or warning, and reason 2, it causes many unpleasant physical symptoms, including an overwhelming sense of fear or dread, having chest pain or feeling that your heart is beating very fast or irregularly, feeling that you might be having a heart attack, feeling that you might be dying, sweating and having a major hot flush or feeling shivery and chilled, having a dry mouth, sudden shortness of breath or feeling as if you're choking, feeling sick, dizzy and faint, feeling a tingling numbness or pins and needles in your fingers, feeling that you need to go to the toilet, feeling your stomach churning, having a ringing in your ears, You may also feel out of body, as if you're detached and watching yourself, and feeling very frightened and worried about having another panic attack. And as a result of that fear, this disorder is another one that may or may not include agoraphobia. Number 4, Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, OCD. If you have OCD, you will have obsessions and/or compulsions. An obsession is a recurring, unwanted, unwelcome thought or image that can be very difficult to ignore. These thoughts may also be upsetting or disturbing and make you feel anxious and distressed. A compulsion is something you think about or do repeatedly to help relieve anxiety. You might check that you locked the front door multiple times, or you might check that you've turned the gas off on your stove multiple times. Or you might repeat a particular phrase over and over in your mind to try and calm yourself down. The different types of OCD include contamination, an impulse to clean your home or wash your hands because you believe that something is contaminated. Checking, the constant need to check yourself or perform some form of counting in your environment to prevent damage, fire, leaks or harm. Intrusive thoughts, repetitive thoughts which may be horrific and upsetting. Hoarding, not feeling able to throw away useless or worn out items. You may realize that your thinking and behavior is not logical, but still find it very difficult to stop yourself. If someone else tries to prevent you from completing a ritual, you may become panicky or angry and feel an extreme need to start the ritual again so that you can complete it. Help is available, so please contact your GP. It's common to have OCD and dermatillomania at the same time, so if you're contacting your GP, please be sure to mention if this is an issue for you. So what is dermatillomania, or skin picking? This disorder causes you to pick at your skin, most commonly the skin on your face, but it can be anywhere on your body. You may find it really difficult to stop, even when it causes damage such as bleeding, bruising or scarring. Warning: the following video contains content that may be disturbing and/or potentially triggering to some viewers. Discretion is advised. This is a disorder of your impulse control and is also believed to be a form of addiction. Sufferers often say that it relieves their stress and makes them feel less tense. Help is available from mental health professionals, so see your GP for a diagnosis and referral. Number 5. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. PTSD is most commonly thought of as a difficult and challenging issue for military personnel, and it very much is, but the traumatic incidents that can lead to PTSD are not confined to war and combat. PTSD may also develop as a result of terrible physical injury or just the threat of it, such as being involved in an accident, whether you were injured or not, personal assaults, both violent and non-violent, being involved in a disaster, whether caused by humans or by nature. Surviving may lead to PTSD and survivor's guilt. You can endure horrible flashbacks to the incident, nightmares and suicidal thoughts for months or even years after the actual event. Please consult your doctor if you think you may be suffering from PTSD. So here's some bonus info. Health anxiety. Health anxiety is the constant worry that you are ill or that you're going to get ill. If you have health anxiety, you may constantly check your body for any signs of illness such as lumps or pain, seek reassurance from family or friends or from medical professionals that you are not ill, worry that advice or results from any medical professionals you see are actually incorrect, obsessively search for health-related information on the internet, and match descriptions of illnesses to your own symptoms. The physical symptoms of anxiety may replicate symptoms of physical illness. Ironically, for someone with health anxiety, those symptoms may be misinterpreted as signs of a serious illness. Hair pulling. Hair pulling is another impulse control disorder. The medical name for it is trichotillomania. If you have this problem, you will find yourself constantly pulling your hair to the point of pulling it out, and you may find it really difficult to stop yourself from doing it. You can pull hair out of your scalp or other places. The most common areas are your arms, eyelashes, eyebrows, legs, or pubic area. You might experience a build-up of tension which you can release by pulling out your hair. Pulling out your hair may give you a feeling of relief, or you may not even notice that you're doing it until you notice hair loss. This can be very distressing, and the habit can be difficult to stop. You may start to feel embarrassed about how other people see you, and of course how you see yourself. If not treated, this disorder can lead to a dramatic drop in self-esteem and may even stop you from wanting to go out in public. I really hope that you found this information helpful. If you think you might have any of these disorders, please don't hesitate to contact your GP. If you'd like to subscribe to the tribe, please do so that we can grow Heal Grow Love into a helpful and supportive community. So until next time, love and light to all of you. Namaste.